Hello, everyone, and greetings. This is Stephen Orr, St. Orr Healing Arts, NYCMasseur.com, and I have decided to make a little exercise video, 20-minute workout in the leaves. So we're starting out, this is a ritual I do every day, starting out just with a basic squat stretch. So your legs are in second, they can be parallel, but I like to turn mine out slightly. You can be on the balls, or for maximum stretch, get those heels down on the floor, and you just really sink into the earth. Sinking, sinking, sinking. I like to hold my stretches until like a count of 30 seconds or so, a count of 30, and you'll notice my shoulders are a little hunched up. That's incorrect. So you should try and relax your shoulders too while you're reaching forward and stretching and stretching, and just let the back and the perineum sink down into the earth for a nice stretch. And the next movement I'm going to do is the upward downward dog. I'm not a yoga, but this is a position I like to do, practice. And the tush, the butt is way up into the sky. And we are stretching and stretching, and you can wiggle the ass back and forth if you want to. I like to go on my tiptoes here. And nice deep breath, and you're breathing throughout all of this, of course. And we're removing our bracelet, thank you. And we're gonna go back into the upward downward dog again. I'm located here, I'm on a little retreat here, my friend's estate in Massachusetts. Beautiful environment, as you can see. And now we're going to go down fully onto the mat and do, I think this is called the Cobra, I'm not sure. And notice the head should also be flexed as far back as possible, and breathing in so that you're really doing the opposite of a spinal arch. You're just really hyper extending the spine as much as you can, stretching out all the limbs. And down, I'm going to take another breath and come in and breathing throughout all this. Nice deep breaths. And good. Are we done yet? No, we're going to do one more. And now we're going to go into 30 push-ups. And if you'll notice, my pelvis should be in line in a better plank. I'm a little lazy on this one, but give myself credit for trying. So I usually do 30 to 35, sometimes 40 push-ups every day on a good day. And if it's not a good day, I'll just, do a maximum of like 30. And you can see my pelvis is dipping down a little bit when I'm doing this. That's incorrect. You want to keep the pelvis in a straight line plank with the rest of the body, up and down, up and down, up and down. And then I'm going to pull the pelvis back. And this is similar to a child's pose in yoga, just really stretching the shoulders out, and stretch. And if I had more mobility in my knees, I would put that butt right down closer to the mat and roll up, but kind of lost a little range of motion. So I'm just going to roll up as best I can. Nice. And what are we doing now? Okay, this is the part that I'm going to edit out. Going up to the porch for something. This is a musical interlude or a commercial. Commercial for massage, commercial for low income senior, queer seniors, health, whatever. It's a beautiful day here. This is located, I'm in Massachusetts on the South Shore. So we're going to come back. Come on, there we go. And I have my belt now. Going to reposition the mat so you have a good view. And this is a great leg stretch that I learned in a yoga for back class that I used to take before the pandemic. And a lot of the students in it had, rods in their back, and elderly women with severe kyphosis and stuff, and a few men here and there, but mostly women. But anyway, this is a great stretch. So I'm just taking that sucker, that's two belts stuck together, and I'm just really stretching it down into the mat and breathing and getting a nice stretch in the hamstrings and the calf all the way through the foot too. I like to flex my foot in this position and hold that again for about a count of 30. Some of the counts will be shortened for the sake of the video here. And an extra pull. And when I feel I've reached the maximum there, I will take the leg and I will pull it with the two belts and stretch it out even more, crossing the midline of my body. And this is the right leg, and I'm crossing over to the left side. And trying to keep that pelvis really stable on the mat too, not rolling with it. Stretching and breathing and breathing and stretching, stretching and breathing and breathing and stretching. And finally, I'm going to take the sucker, that leg, and just really, really stretch it out to the far right side. Nice stretch for the adductors, inner thigh muscles there on that right leg. Dance muscles, hello. And I'm taking my left hand and making sure that the point of my pelvis that is reaching up to the sky is not, rolling from one side to the other. You don't want the body to roll far to the right. You just want the leg to go there. And I'm going to do the same exact thing on this side. So maximum stretch out. You notice the hamstring, butt, gluteus medius. One of the most intelligent butt muscles because it has a full range of motion. It's smarter than the gluteus maximus in terms of range of motion, and stretching, pulling down, breathing deep. And again, we're trying to keep that pelvis really nice and straight. And now I'm with the left leg, I'm crossing to the right side of my body for even more of a stretch. And this is also a great stretch for ITB, iliotibial band, for those of you who are bikers or unicyclists, such as myself. Haha. And then we're going to go to the other side. Stretching and breathing and breathing and stretching and stretching and breathing and breathing and stretching. I really love to stretch outside. I'm fortunate enough to have a roof on my building, although it is slanted. It gets me out of the gym. I'm a member of Blink, and I love Blink. I'm in Silver Sneakers, so my Blink membership is free. It's just a little crowded down on Avenue A, a little too crowded for my taste. So, and now we're going to do, this harkens back to an old reformer exercise with Pilates. I'm just circling, my leg is stretched, maximum stretched out straight, and I'm just doing small circles. And you'll notice there's a lot of rocking in my pelvis. That is incorrect. You want to try and minimize the rocking in the pelvis as much as you can. And I used to teach Pilates. So you want to try and keep that pelvis, and you can see the left thigh is kind of rolling back and forth. Now I'm taking my left hand and trying to stabilize it. So we do about 4 or 5 counterclockwise, and then 4 or 5 counterclockwise around in a circle slowly, kind of using the rope as a guide. And I like to point the foot in this position. It's almost like you're drawing O's to the sky, okay? And if there's a lot of pelvic movement, you can always keep the circles smaller. No pelvic movement, make them wide. This is a great stretch for, I'm taking both legs and over to the left side, and you can see I'm signaling because my spine has actually released. When there's a nice pop that you hear, it's usually a sign that your spine was subluxated, is what the chiropractic correct term is. And so it's gone back into a position where it's not, where the vertebrae are not actually rubbing and touching the spine, i.e., that means you can be more pain-free. So we're stretching on both sides. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And maximum, and breathing into it. So again, you want to hold that for 30. Maximum is the best thing. And now we're just going to do a hip roll. And in this hip roll, I'm just really contracting the butt, strong core, and really reaching the pelvis up to the sky. And instead of continually rolling and doing 20 or 30, repetitions at this point, I really like to harken back to the old days of the isometric theory of exercise. So I just like to hold that sucker, breathing deep into the core, but keeping the core really hard and strong, and the butt hard and strong. And then I'm going to roll down slowly, roll down on the mat. And now I'm going to do crunches. And in this crunch exercise, it's best to, keep the scapula off and on and off and on and off and on. And I like to maximize this. I like to work out to do like 100 of these. Really nice. And of course, everyone knows now, if you know physical education or exercise, you know that this is the optimum sit-up. We don't do sit-ups, with the old school with the feet on the floor anymore. Crunch, 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 crunch. Do 100 of these, and then it's going to morph into what I call the windshield wiper. This really hits the lower abdominals, and I don't know if you can see the hands, but the hands should go, when the butt comes up, the hands should kind of go in like a windshield wiper on a car, and then they come out. And it's kind of a test to make sure that the sacrum and the lower abs are off. And, I kind of cheated on that. I think I only did 10. That's a real hardcore exercise. You can really feel that ache in the lower abs. Oh, I took a rest. Okay, I rested, and now I'm doing 10 again. And you notice the head is flexed over. Shouldn't quite have so much effort in the breathing. It's a little bit of a curmudgeon-y face there, kind of ugly, but I like to keep my face relaxed, and yeah, it hurts. So, but there's no sense in, making grunting noises or painful noises. Now we're going into, it's just extra wasted effort in my book. So this is the ab series. I used to teach Pilates, like I said, and this is the single leg stretch ab. So I'm blowing out every time the leg is extended. I did 10 of those, and now I'm going to do the same thing with the legs, but I'm going to take the arms and have them behind my head, and I'm just going to be twisting. And a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you can relax, Daddy. You can relax your mouth. Okay, really, yeah, you can relax your mouth, Daddy. It's not perfection, it's the process, right? It's not the end of the journey, it's being on the road. And this is stretching up with the legs. I forget what it's called. I'm going to do 10 of these. The maximum, I do 10. There's 4 exercises in this ab series, and I do 10. If I'm really feeling it, I'll do 20, maybe 30 on a good day. And last but not least, I'm going to open up. So inhale and exhale. The breathing on this is inhale and exhale like a flower blooming. Inhale, exhale, or like a clam opening up on the beach. Exhale, inhale, and exhale. And every time I open, I'm really, really stretching the arms, keeping the shoulders down. They shouldn't go behind the ears. And the legs are together. This is the simplest variation of this exercise, which I love. Okay, that was the ab series, Pilates ab series. Old school exercise that's been around for years. It's all about the core. And we're just taking a rest right there and breathing, noticing the sky. And the last in the series of this little thing is, I'm going to shoot a big beaver here. Ha, ha, ha. And I'm going to just really reach the legs up and open up my favorite bottom position. Nice stretch for the inner thigh muscles, keeping the sacrum on, again, the mat. And it's even nice to put the bottom of the pelvis, the perineum, place it against a wall if you can, and if you have enough space in your apartment or your workout space. And just really stretch those legs. This is a great martial arts stretch too. Yay, we're done. Okay, and now we can get up. 1, 2, 3, not too graceful, but we're getting up off the ground now. That's nice. And I'm just going to move the camera a little bit here. I might edit this part out, maybe not. This is just kind of a home-brewed garage band type of recording, just to clue you in on how I try to keep in shape. As a 67-year-old senior queer gay bi trans man, 67, my online age is 57. Of course, everyone knows that by now. And we put the mat down on the bench to prevent slivers on the ass, okay? So we're gonna move the camera again to get a little better view. And I'm going to do a series of exercises. Basically, I'm going to go into okay, these are bicep curls here. Just regular bicep curls. Everybody knows how to do that. A little bit too much of the swinging of the hips. I'm kind of letting my form go in this one. Just up and down and up and down. And I'm going into a squat position now with one leg in front and one leg in back and straight down with that pelvis. Shoulders nice and wide and open. And you can work out and do your bicep curls here. This, the weights of these is about 15, and it's a nice good weight for me. Repetitions can vary, usually between 20 or 30. In New York, when I get back to my home turf apartment, I have 25-pounders, and that's a little bit more challenging, especially since I don't have any cartilage left in my right shoulder. So I have to be super aware of that. So the smaller weights are better. I always kind of max out, when the pain in the right shoulder is my alarm for, stopping the repetitions. And now we're going to do some squats. And I like to do my squats with my legs in a second position and turned out. I'm going to sit on the bench first and then go down and just basically kind of brush the bench with my butt and then come up again. So inhale and exhale. And sweetie, you should keep your head up really during this one. Okay. Yeah, don't look down to the ground when you go down. Keep the head up. But you do the best you can. What can I say? Inhale and exhale and squeeze when you come up. Now, again, I'm going to just hold it down there and kind of if anyone has ever seen Japanese no theater, there's a lot of squatting. Squatting is a wonderful position to just really work out the butt and the legs, and I like to hold it. So we did a mini hold there. In a real workout, again, I would be holding it for about 30 seconds. And now, what is he doing? He's moving the camera again. Okay, yeah, we're gonna move it over there so you can get a better view. Again, I might be editing this out. This is a very rough video, so forgive me in my anti-influencer mode. If anybody has comments about any of these exercises, please, I would love to hear any variations you might have or opinions on what's right, what's wrong, etc. And now I'm going to go down, and this is a great overall pec exercise from this wonderful, I forget what his Extra Lean or whatever his name is online. So I'm just really reaching back, and now you can particularly notice how my range of motion is limited by that right shoulder lack of cartilage. It's basically bone on bone. Ouch. But we're doing the best we can. So reaching back, inhale and exhale, squeeze it down. Inhale and exhale. And I can work out because the weights are kind of low with this. I can do about 20 or 30, but again, for the sake of video, I'm just shortening the amount of repetitions that I do. And this is your basic dumbbell press on a bench. And squeeze, inhale, exhale, squeeze. And then we're going to open up and squeeze together. And I like to actually kind of pause for a moment and do an isometric contraction to really get the tits working. You really want to work those titties. Squeeze and open up and squeeze, and don't forget to breathing, and the core is being stabilized, and all this really great stuff is happening too down below. It's not just all about the chest and the arms. Keeping tension out of the neck, and just a final little stretch there. Leaves are falling, birds are singing. Beautiful time of the year in Massachusetts. I would move here if it wasn't quite so heterosexual. A little too much family action here for me. I don't know what the solution is. I was a houseboy in Provincetown back in the 90s, and that was almost too gay. It was like toxic, a little bit toxic up there. So, and we're going to take our exercise band. You'll notice this is the gray-black band. This is has the most resistance of any bands. And I'm just going to really pull it across my chest and really open up, and I'm contracting the scapula together. I think it's called a protraction, a retraction, I forget. But again, just holding that isometric contraction, nice big open chest, and breathing, strong core, and let it go down. And that's it.